Hello, Year 3. It's the 15th of January 2021. This is our last lesson in our unit, and we're moving on to length and measurement from Monday. Okay, I think I've mentioned try and get a tape measure, make sure you've got a ruler for that lesson, as well as your pencil and maths books. We'll be doing some more practical side of maths and measurements. So this is the last lesson in the units. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at multiplication and division and related facts. A bit like those triangles that I've been sort of on about, where we can factor times factor equals the product, then we can work out our division sentences that are related to the multiplication sentences. Obviously, multiplication is the inverse of division, and division is the inverse of multiplication. They are very related. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to just go back. Again, just a bit of feedback. We're improving our knowledge of times tables. Again, we cannot do that enough. I was talking to Miss Elks yesterday, and she was on about, still in year 6, how it's really important to have those times tables at your fingertips. It's really important that we've got timetable rock stars, and we really use it to our advantage. We will get the benefit now right up all the year groups until we're in year 11 or whatever. Okay, so times tables are really, really, really important. We'll see today, because with the related division facts, you know more than just your times tables. Okay, so what are we doing today? Okay, so fluency first. I've got some arrays here. Complete the multiplication facts related to the array. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to solve these problems. Shouldn't take us long, just to get our brains functioning. Okay, so there's the 3 sets of questions. Question, question, and question. That's related to what we're going to be doing today as well. Okay, so what are we doing today? Okay, you can stop on that page to finish that up, and let's get on. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to be doing, again, division related to multiplication, related facts. Okay, so we'll get on with the lesson. Okay, so the first image I've got in my Discover is I've got somewhat a representation of what looked like flamingos in a lake, and they are in the shape of an array. Okay, so they're in the shape of an array. Does anyone know why flamingos are pink? It's because of the diet they eat. They eat shrimp and small algae, which often contain carotenoids, which when digested turn into a pink pigment. Okay, like when you cook an uncooked prawn, that's why it goes pink. Apparently, just a bit of a fact. So I've got here, I've got an array. Let's just shrink that so I can get my pen. Okay, so here we go. Full screen. Okay, so we've got our flamingos. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what's that called? That's a row of 5. Horizontally across, a row. What about when we go up or down? What do we call that in maths? We call that column, and it goes vertically. So how many have we got there? So we've got 5 here. And how many have we got in our column? 4. There. Okay. So what's that saying? We've got 1 group of 5. We've got 2 groups of 5. 3 groups of 5. We've got 4 groups of 5. Who agrees with that? But then also, we could split that into groups. Yes, we've got 4 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 4. Because of the commutative law, that gives us the same answer. Therefore, 5 lots of 4 equal. I've got 4 lots of 5 equals. So I've got the same amount of flamingos, whichever way we count, whether count in columns or rows, or group them in 4s or group them in 5s, we still have the same amount. Okay, my 20. There are 20 flamingos. If we've 5 groups of 4, 20 divided by 4, so if we count them in groups of 4, we're going to have 5 groups of 4. Okay, 20 divided into groups of 5, we're going to have 4 groups of 5. Okay, what I want you to do is you can do question B. What I suggest you do, it's quite an easy way. If you haven't got counters at home, it's just to do this basically. Switch pages. Okay, so you can do 3 lots of 8, just with dots in your book or on your line or your squared paper. 1 dot plus 1 square. Being quite quick, I don't know if I can fit this on. Just about, yes. So then I've got 3 groups of 8. Or 8 groups of 3. So I've got 3 groups of 8 is 24, and 8 groups of 3, 24. So got my related division facts, which are 24 divided by 3, 8, and 24 divided into groups of 8 would equal 3. Okay, so we can easily do that, and that's what I'd like you to do today. So when we're practicing these questions, a good way of doing arrays is just with dots in your book, and then nice pictorial representation, and then just identify the different groups and how many are in the group. Really important. Okay, let's go back to our. Okay, so this is just going through the share. So just read through the share. Make sure you understand. It's just explaining the multiplication that's related to the array, the 8 times 3 and the 3 times 8, and the associated division, number sentences or division facts. Okay, so we can see that knowing 8 times 3, 8 lots of 3, we know 3 times 8, we know 24 divided by 3. Sometimes if you write 8 times 3 is 24, then you can just say 24 divided by 3 equals 8. 24 divided by 8 equals 3. Okay, so you can just reverse the process because it is the inverse operation. Okay, really, this is really important to remember about this inverse operation, the relationship between division and multiplication. That's the most important thing to remember about this unit. It's these arrays that are related to your multiple times tables that are then related to equivalent division facts. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. Okay, so 30 trees are planted in a forest. They are planted in 3 rows. There are 10 trees in each row. In fact, what I'm going to ask you to do is you to complete the 4 number sentences that relate to that. Okay, so it shouldn't take you very long. 30 trees. So we know we're going to have 30 here. We're going to have 30 here. How do I get 30? 2 different ways. How many in this row? And then how many rows? Yeah. Number of groups. And then number in the group. And the number of groups is 3. The number of trees in the group is 10. So 3 times 10. We can also look at it the other way. Looking at the columns. How many would be in this group? How many groups would we have? Okay. That commutative law coming into effect again. 10 times 3 is the same as 3 times 10. Okay, then, so if I say 10 times 3 equals 30, I can say 30. I'm just reversing it, using it in inverse. 30 divided by 3 equals 10. Divided by 3. So I can just put 3 and the 10 here. Therefore, I start at my answer if I want the division factors. Winfield does this in year 6. You do it in year 6. 30 divided by 10 equals 3. Fill associated division fact in here. Okay. Bit scruffy, but it's quite hard sometimes using these. Okay, so 32 cakes are arranged in 4 rows. There are 8 cakes in each row. Match each calculation to the correct statement. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do that. Okay, let's have a look at question. Down his head out of the way. Move him over there. Okay, this is what I do like. These triangles. Explain the connection between the numbers. So, what's my array? It can be 5 2s or 2 5s. Okay, so we can say 5. I like to put in these my magic triangles. 5 times 2 equals 10. We're happy with that? 2 times 5. I now say 10 divided by 2 equals 5. And then 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Okay, that represents what's in the array. So I can either have 5 groups of 2 or 2 groups of 5. And then I can say, what's 10 divided by, grouped into 5, it would be 2. Or 10 grouped into 2 would be 5. Okay, so quickly, I would like you to solve these and perhaps put in the correct signs here. Okay? So here we're looking at 9 times 3 or 3 times 9. Times sign in there. 9 times 3 equals 10. What else? What else does that tell me? It tells me 9 times 3 is 27. It tells me 3 times 9 is 27. And I can say 27 divided by 3, 9, and also 24 divided into groups of 9 would equal 3. Okay. So we can fill those in, get the missing numbers. Okay, if we look at this question, there might be more than one answer. If we find 24 in a number of times tables, we could have 1 and 24, we could have 2 and 12, we could have 3 and 8, 4, 6. Okay, so various, so there's more than one right answer to that question. Okay, so let's fill in these. And then what we'll do, we will go on, hopefully. It's really important, really like everyone to really have a good go at these questions. Because then we're going to move on to, check with the page. We're going to look at page 145. And we're going to solve, I'll put them up on here. Not too hard a questions, I don't think, but this is really an important area where we should understand the arrays, we should understand the rows and columns and what they represent as a multiplication sentence and the equivalent division sentences. So there's what I want you to go at, page 145. Okay. Workbook A, practice book A, sorry, questions 1 and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and then have a go at the reflect and challenge. Okay, once you've had a go at those, if you could put those, download them onto Classroom Dojo so I can have a look over the weekend, and I'll see if there's anybody who doesn't quite understand or any misconceptions, and then I can mark that appropriately. Anyway, have a lovely weekend. Again, we're going on to a different unit. Hopefully, a bit more. A lot of parents will probably find it a bit easier to understand the concepts in length and measure than we've perhaps been using this week. So make sure you try and find a tape measure, a ruler, and be ready to learn on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a great weekend and stay safe. From everyone at Wyndham, keep well year 3. See you later.